just one coast, we've got two host to host. Welcome to another live in Los Angeles episode of the Fivecast Podcast. We're here to break down and examine Ben intricately prepared top 5 lists for not just your enjoyment, but for everybody's enjoyment from LA, from Hollywood, from the Ben Pad, second floor studios. I'm Tyler, your host, and to my right at Fivecast Central.
Yep, yeah, you can call it that, sure.
It's Ben Pearson. How you doing, Ben?
What's up, man?
That's
How are
at
you?
Ben Pierce on Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. So
you're in town. You're in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're here. We promised there'd be some live episodes. We've tried and failed many times to record episodes live on location somewhere in LA.
Man, we had it down. We were so close. We were in the car cruising around. It would have been really cool, like, oh, these people, the listeners could have been like, oh man, this is what these guys are really like, out on the streets.
Live and then, at Whimsic Alley. Yeah. We were there.
That was a place. It's a place we've been in Los Angeles. Jeez. But then the recording equipment failed, basically.
Miserably.
So, yeah, we lost, I don't know, at least an hour of content.
Hours.
Multiple hours, sure. Yeah.
It was like that one time between episodes 7 and 8 where we went 3 months with the record button on, but no footage.
Yeah, man.
It was just like that.
That was bad.
Well,
but
Ben,
anyway,
we're in the land of advertisement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can buy that.
I think that's what the A means in Los Angeles.
I don't know. New York City might be closer to that with the whole
there's a lot of marketing around this town.
That's true.
Yeah. And one of the things
that's an undeniable fact
people try to market is cereals.
Yeah, cereal.
And one of our most enjoyable episodes was episode 3.
Yep.
Serial Killers, where we do our top 5 cereals. But to meld that with kind of the current events of today, lots of people running for president, Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 16 Dumbo elephant people, and then you've got like maybe 2 or 3 donkey jackass people.
Uh-huh.
I think I know politics.
Yeah, sure.
But I'd like to know, Ben, and just bear with me here.
Yep.
And there might be some bears on your list.
Yeah. I was waiting for that one.
The cereal mascots that should run for president. Ben, is there a list somewhere? And I'm looking at the Benbury right now.
Yeah,
is there a list of cereal mascots, breakfast cereal mascots that should run for president? Have you created that list?
Let me dust off this old tome right here. And
yeah, ooh,
I actually have one. It's it's shocking that I have one prepared every time
that is incredible.
Ask, so.
Well, I know I bring my lists and my scrolls wherever I go.
Yeah,
so let me break that seal on breakfast cereal mascots that should run for president. Ben, let's start with your number 5.
All right, my number 5 is a character named Waffle Bill.
Waffle Bill?
Yes, from a commercial, or a product called Waffalo's. I've got a photo for you, Tyler, right here.
This is the first time on the scene.
I've never seen...
Looks like a homeboy.
It does. It looks like a
American
cowboy.
bread.
Waffle Bill, I assume a play on Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. No doubt.
Probably not the one from Silence of the Lambs, though, because that would be really weird. No,
this is definitely a Yosemite Sam-esque.
The cowboy character, and that's exactly what I was going to say. He's got like a Yosemite Sam full-on mustache, super bushy, the full cowboy hat.
He's going full bush on this.
Yeah, he is going full bush, and he's got what seems to be a nice little horse that plays guitar. That's a friend of his in the background there.
That's pretty cool.
So that could be
I bet he has a name,
Secretary of State or something. I'm not going to look up what the horse's name is, but I'm sure he does have a name.
Sure, Dave live in studio.
Dave,
let's go ahead and get him on that.
Our intern, the non-existent intern. But
Ben,
anyway,
Ben, it's funny because Dave is usually in transit between our two towers,
right?
But no, he's here today. Like you
is.
usually think he's non-existent because he's in transit. And you're like, I've never seen this guy. I don't even know if he's real. He is real.
He's here. He's right
real.
Now.
You don't see him.
I'm not seeing him,
but he's here.
Okay. Well, in any case, I feel like the cowboy persona. That's like a big thing in politics. Like, oh yeah, I'm a swinging dick. I'm a cowboy.
Right.
So I feel like that would be maybe not somebody that I would vote for personally, but as far as people who run go, as far as potential candidates, I feel like Waffle Bill would galvanize a certain portion of the American public with his shoot first, ask questions later attitude.
Yeah, he's he's like homespun.
Yeah.
You know, he's like that guy that wrote a bunch of prose in the Old West.
Yeah, and maybe he's like almost a joke candidate. Like he rides into the debates on a horse or something, and like
shines his badge.
Yeah, he's
as
like
he's
the
talking.
Trump or something, where he garners a lot of the attention just because of his antics. But,
right.
But yeah, I feel like Waffle Bill. What do you
Waffle Bill. I mean, I already love the name.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'd love the cereal because I love Waffle Crisp.
That's a great name.
Which I think was a cereal for a while. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Put him on the ticket.
All right.
Let's see how the primaries go.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is not even a human being. It's a celestial body.
Ooh.
He's fronting the Raisin Bran boxes these days. It's Sonny the Sun.
Okay.
He's got 2 scoops.
Okay.
He's got his economic plan, and he's got his foreign policy plan.
Wow.
Those are his 2 scoops of policy. He's bringing it hard. He's got tons of experience because he's been the motherfucking sun for, I want to say, millennia.
Sure.
So he's seen it all. You know, he's got that experience. He's seen every single president exist since the beginning of the United States.
Yeah,
he's
blink of an eye for him.
He's seen Caesar. He's seen Cleopatra. He's seen William the Conqueror. He knows. Yeah. He knows the quality of a good leader.
That's true.
And so, like, he just kind of hovers. I don't think he can physically visit the United States to, like, stump speech or anything. But I'm sure he can just speak to us from space.
He can just
sound doesn't really travel, but
he can turn himself off and on,
and
Morse communicate in Morse code. Yeah,
Morse code that. So yeah, he's got those 2 scoops of policy. He's bringing it hard. Like, he's a happy guy. He's always smiling, and he loves raisins. And who doesn't? What American doesn't love raisins?
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's a pretty decent quality candidate, I think.
He's my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not my number 1, but we'll see how it works in the primaries.
All right.
Sonny the Sun, check him out. Ben, number 4.
I'm gonna go with Chef Wendell from Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
This is a guy that I feel like gets his hands dirty.
Yeah.
He's a guy that actually does something in this country. You know, there've been a lot of things over the past few years about a lot of bitching and moaning about how America is not the great place that it used to be because nobody does things anymore. Everybody just like sues people from afar and
litigious.
Like we don't get in there and like get down
and bake some cinnamon.
Yeah, bake some freaking cinnamon toast crunch, man. And this guy,
the next time you want to complain, just sit your ass down and bake some cinnamon.
Yeah, this is a guy who walks the walk and talks the talk. He backs it up.
I've got a hard-hitting realization for you, Ben.
What's that?
On this Cinnamon Toast Crunch ticket, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch party is going to have a split because at my number 4 is not Wendell the baker, but Quello the baker, the tall, lanky sidekick that not a lot of people knew the name of back when there were 3 chefs on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. Wendell somehow, like,
became the dominant
trumped,
force.
Like, they turned on him, he turns on them, and he just, like, sliced them out of the business.
He House of Cards to them.
Yeah, but Quello went and started his own business, so he's, like, entrepreneur times entrepreneur.
Did he move to a different cereal?
No.
Okay.
He's been unsuccessful since, like, 1991, but he's looking to get back into the game, so he's running for president against his old friend Wendell.
So he might have some dirt on him.
I think he's got a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some like tapped phone calls that Wendell has sent to some vixens of the night, if you will, and there are a few skeletons that Wendell needs to answer for.
Some pictures of women covered in cinnamon. Oh, Wendell.
Yeah, so
you and your insatiable ways.
Make sure to keep up with the. Oh, I think Bob might also be in the mix, but I haven't heard from Bob, who's the 3rd chef.
Okay.
But I've got my ticket for Quello. Ben, you got Wendell, I assume. So.
All right.
We're gonna have a very good debate.
Yeah, and
I think between these chefs.
At least Cinnamon Toast Crunch is fully represented in this election.
Yeah, so there's no way that no one's gonna hear about this.
My number 3 is Buzz, the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, okay.
Bee.
That's a healthy choice.
Yeah, another guy that I
the
feel
cereal
like
and the character.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think Buzz, and Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, if you remember anything about the advertising of Cheerios, because I don't really pay too much attention anymore. I think Buzz is specifically just with Honey Nut because of the honey aspect. I don't think...
No, he's not like a Cheerio mascot.
Yeah, there might be a separate bee or some other Cheerio mascot. I'm not entirely certain.
No, it's just the one.
What the main brand Cheerio mascot is. But I'm just talking about Honey Nut, that's Buzz.
Yeah.
I feel like because You've got the honey in there. He's a little bit more interesting than just the plain Cheerios guy.
Yeah.
You know that
they don't have. I don't think they have a mascot.
Okay.
Well,
I
Cheerios just the
maybe
yellow
it's
box.
just like a heart or something because of cholesterol or something like that.
That might be it.
But yeah, I feel like Buzz is just he's a guy who recognized greatness and then made it even better by adding his own ingredients. He's shaking up the formula a little bit. And
do you think he stole the formula?
I feel like
and they were like, it's so good, we'll have to buy it.
He was a protege in the company and then just rose through the ranks. He started in the mail room. Yeah, rose through the comb. He was serving that queen, but then eventually she like made him a knight or however that works in the bee kingdom.
She buzzed him.
Yeah, and I like this guy because I feel like he put a good spin on an already good thing, but just made it more interesting. And I hope he can bring that same talent to running the country when he eventually runs for president in this bizarre world we've created. Where
Ben, I'll be damned if I'm going to vote for the first bee president. Let me just tell you right now.
I think you're coming down on the wrong side of history.
When they have, if anybody who has more than 2 legs running for president, no thank you.
Okay,
it's 2 legs or nothing.
50 years from now, people are going to
2 legs are your dregs.
People are
Hashtag.
Going to look back and they're going to be like, I can't believe everyone so
ignorant asshole. My number 3 is the robot from the Honeycomb Hideout. This guy is electric, literally.
Oh, nice.
A lot of times, and he kind of has his own business. It's not really a business. It's a hideout where you eat honeycomb with a bunch of kids. But this robot's kind of like a caretaker. Like he's got kind of a paternal/maternal. I don't know what gender he associates himself. Maybe robotic.
Yeah.
He takes care of these kids. Yeah. He's got a protective personality. He's programmed to offer you delicious cereal, I might add. And he's also good at de-escalating very, very heightened situations. So a lot of times the hideout is attacked basically by like motorcycle bandits or ISIS terrorists or something.
Gangs of kids
and they're like, I'm hungry. Yeah. And the robot's like, beep blorp, here's some honeycomb. And they're like, oh, this is delicious. And then they sing the jingle.
And they're all friends.
Yeah, and then the robot like dances out in the woods. So yeah, he's ready to move up. He's being upgraded to presidential candidate, like new operating system and everything, full presidential. And I think he's a real people person. Like, again, to refer back to the people that he took care of in the hideout. Peace in the Middle East, man. He'd bring it.
Yeah.
I just offer some honeycomb.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. That's my number 3.
Okay.
I don't know his name. I'm going to see THOB7.
Okay.
THOB7.
Thob7. All right.
Thob716.
So we're moving on to my number 2.
Number 2.
Which is Sonny the Raisin Bran son.
Sonny the son coming back. A huge fan.
Did not look at it from the perspective of he's got the economic and the foreign policy.
2 scoops of policy.
But that's a really great way to look at it. So I'm going to incorporate that into. I'm going to endorse your.
We both sit on his campaign
on
board.
His campaign, and then my thought coming into it was more of like he's got the power to get things done if need be. He's got the threat of like, all right, if you're not gonna fall in line with this, it's like
I'm gonna move centimeters closer to the earth so you all burst into flames.
Yeah, it's like an Uber veto, like the threat of like an Uber veto. Like, all right, if you don't push this through, Congress, if I dare you to shut down again, that kind of thing. So
just like send a solar flare.
Yeah. A little taste every now and again at what he can do. Maybe like redirect a comet route to come a little closer, just as like
he just like increases his gravitational pull and just like the planets start to surround the Earth, and it's like okay.
All right, we're good.
I like your ideas.
So that's more of a
Now you've represented a more of a vengeful Sonny the son.
For sure.
He is no nonsense.
Yeah, he's a guy that does not mess around. He has zero sense of humor.
Well, he's the son.
But he's one of those guys that you need in a time of desperation.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Desperate times, Ben.
Yeah, we'll see what state the American people are in when this election actually takes place. Sometimes you just need one of those guys on the ticket that can get shit done when nobody else can. So
he will burn the earth if you don't vote for him.
Yep,
campaign poster. My number 2 is, now you might think he's foreign born, but technically he's not.
Okay.
He was born in a foreign country. He was born in Transylvania. His parents were both U.S. citizens, and so they reported it to the embassy right away. some argue, a lot of birthers
Mm-hmm.
are arguing that his mother actually slept with Count Dracula
Oh.
in a chocolate fountain.
Ooh.
So they intercoursed at like a mixer, and there just happened to be a chocolate fountain there.
Yeah,
And
they roll out to the
birthers claim things got nasty,
Uh-huh.
and so birthed Count Chocula.
Okay.
So Count Chocula, although he's got the accent, although he's got the kind of the fetish, I guess, for chocolate.
Sure, and he's embraced his Transylvanian history.
He's embraced the Transylvanian heritage. I mean, U.S. Transylvanian ties will never be stronger if Count Chocula is elected
That's
president.
true.
And we all know that those
That's a key
those
force
need to be
in the global community.
yeah, those need to be whatever it's called,
Secured,
remedied
yeah.
as soon as was possible.
Yeah.
LA, man, I'm telling you, it's the water or something. It's the lack of water. And so he's a U.S. citizen, born a U.S. citizen, well over 35 years old.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
this guy's
true.
like 200.
Yeah.
He's got vampiric. Am I supposed to reveal this?
Yeah, I don't know, vampiric tendencies?
Yeah, I guess I would say that. And he also lives in the state. He's been living in the country for over 14 years because obviously Count Chocula's been around. Count Chocula cereal. He's running with Frankenberry and Booberry.
Yep.
So those are his cronies, I guess. So they might get government appointments.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Secretary
But those
of
have to be
State.
confirmed by the Senate.
Frankenberry.
So if the Senate don't like Frankenberry or Booberry or Yummy Mummy, I think is another character.
Yep.
They can just vote it down and he'll have to pick someone else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my number 2.
That's a out of left field choice. I was not aware of the surprise heritage of
Yes.
that he was actually an American citizen.
Yes,
So
he was. Yes,
good.
It's
Good
a
to know.
very intricate web
Yeah.
of facts and details.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is
He's in there.
at this point in time qualified to run for president. Yes.
Okay, good to know.
Ben, we're moving on. We've crunched the numbers. Oops, hold on. We still got number 1 to go.
And speaking of crunch, Tyler.
Oh,
Cap'n Crunch.
Cap'n Crunch is my number 1.
Number
as well.
1. All right, yeah. So I
Hit
think
me.
we probably agree on this one. I feel
Yeah.
like he has the naval
Yeah.
experience.
He's a veteran.
In
Who
the
doesn't love a veteran?
Armed services.
Ben, do you share every single if you love a veteran Facebook meme? Because if you don't, you hate veterans. You hate America.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
unpatriotic. You're a coward.
Cap'n Crunch shares
You're a
every one of
middleweight
them.
moron.
So he is a guy
loves veterans.
who has a deep understanding
Yeah.
of that community. He understands the diplomacy of world relations. He knows how to get things done. He has
Travels
a little
the
bit of
seas.
that.
He's well traveled.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that threatening factor that the Sonny
yeah.
would bring with the ability to like launch nuclear codes or whatever
From his wooden ship.
warships and stuff. He's upgraded a little bit.
Okay,
since
he's got an aircraft carrier?
Yeah. He's up there. He's cruising around Top Gun style, landed back on his aircraft carrier.
With Salty Dog.
What do you think? What are your
Oh yeah,
reasons
he's
for-
got the threads for it. Like he
Oh,
just
yeah, that's
walks
true.
around in the
And he
admiral
might have a
suit.
medal on. I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
yeah,
He's been
tons of
pinned
medals.
a couple times.
Yeah, he's got the hat. He's got the delicious cereal, obviously. Crunch
Yeah.
Berries, Christmas Crunch. I mean, there's a cereal for every season.
And they already call the president the commander-in-chief, and he's a captain, so it's close enough. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
elevate him a couple more
Yeah,
slots.
Captain in
and-
Chief.
Yeah.
Captain in Chief.
Captain-in-chief.
Or Commander in Eat. Cap'n Crunch cereal.
No. Okay.
That worked.
He's another guy that has some diversity awareness because he's split off from just the crunch to
Right.
crunch berries
Yeah.
to peanut butter crunch.
Right.
He's got some.
Oops All Berries.
Yeah, that's right.
Oops All Donuts.
Oops All Donuts.
Oops All Crunch Donuts.
is a
or
real cereal?
something
Wow.
like
Well,
Volcano Crunch.
Dave, fact check that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely a donut.
Man, that's insane. So yeah, he's got all the angles covered.
Yeah.
I feel like he might be the best candidate among the bunch.
I think he knows what people want, and he offers it freely.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pay a couple bucks, but I mean, you're living
bucks a box.
in a democratic society. Everyone has to pay taxes. So whatever plans he's got, he knows the population. He's gonna offer it up.
Yeah.
He's a man of many ideas.
He's one of those guys that I feel like really could unite the two-party
Yes.
divide.
Yes.
He can bridge that gap.
Everybody loves a veteran.
Yep.
What war did he fight in again?
I think all of them. I think he's been around.
All right.
He's seen some serious shit. in
Hook,
his
line,
day.
and sinker. I'll
So-
believe it. All right, so that's Captain Crunch at number 1. Ben, I'm going to high five you on that one.
All right.
Solid.
Damn.
Well, we've crunched the numbers. And that's the end of the show. We might have a few more episodes live from LA/Hollywood. Maybe we'll do it from the Hollywood sign. Who knows?
We'll see if we can recover some of those old ones. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll get up there. And until next time, Ben, take 5. We'll see you next time.
Take 5.
From Just One Coast, we've got 2 hosts to host. Welcome to another live from Los Angeles episode of the 5Cast Podcast. We're here to break down and examine intricately prepared top 5 lists for your enjoyment. I'm here in Second Floor Studios, your host Tyler. Also in Second Floor Studios, my host, co-host, guest host, Ben Pearson. How's it going, Ben?
What's up, Tyler?
Is that at Ben Pierce on Twitter?
That is. That's correct,
nice.
yeah.
Well, we're here, Hollywood.
You're here still, yes.
And we're in the throes of Universal Studios Hollywood Adventure.
Yes.
We're walking around. Now we're actually just right across the street, basically.
Yeah,
we're walking up to it.
Right.
Some great ambiance. And I figured we've given Disney its due. We're here in Hollywood. Let's celebrate Universal Studios, another juggernaut of a movie studio production. Spielberg works there.
Yep.
Allegedly. Ben, how do you feel about Universal Studios' top 5 rides and attractions?
I like
past,
that.
present, or future.
Well, I don't know about future.
Yeah, they could appear or they may not.
The past and present, I like that idea.
Okay,
Let's
all right.
knock that one out.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I know the listeners are waiting with bated breath.
Yes, they are.
Heated loins. Just oozing machismo.
Yep.
For the top 5 Universal Studios rides and attractions. Ben, number 5.
My number 5 is Twister Ride It Out. This
With
is
the Bill Paxton?
the Bill Paxton, or the Bill Paxton.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The one and only actor, Bill Paxton, Hollywood's greatest export.
Jewel in the crown of Hollywood.
Yes, indeed. If you have not ridden this ride, I actually don't even remember the ride. The only thing I know about this is because I've seen the intro video online.
Hold up, you've never rode it out with Bill Paxton?
I don't think I've ridden it out.
Oh
no.
man, I've ridden it out with Bill many times.
I might have back in the day, but I don't remember. Yeah. It's been years and years if I did.
You know how dangerous tornadoes are?
They're dangerous enough to rip the asphalt off a 6-lane highway.
It's unbelievable.
According to Bill Paxton in the deadly monotone opening intro
it's
video.
Nothing to joke about, Ben.
No, but he is gravely serious to a degree that should not be the case when you are visiting an entertainment theme park. So yeah, if you don't know this intro video for Twister Ride It Out, just look it up on YouTube. You'll see there are videos with thousands of plays, and some of them even have people laughing in the background when Paxton introduces himself.
Well, as Jimmy Pardo would say, we're storm chasers. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Never appeared in the movie.
I think he almost says that.
That line never appears in the movie. It appears in the trailer, but not the movie.
Okay. He almost says
it's one of those...
one of those,
like the transporter missiles.
Yeah, man. I get so
never
pissed
appeared
about
in the movie.
That. So mad about that. All right,
haven't run into Statham yet. That was one of my on my checklist.
Things to do in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Run into Statham, tell him how great he was in Spy.
Should
and then everything else.
Take a look at flagpoles. I hear he just hangs or horizontally from all of those. Just stretching, just completely.
Yeah. Pull-ups, getting
completely
more
horizontal.
And then he just dives into a pool from there.
Yeah, because he used to be a diver.
Yeah. My number 5 is right here in Hollywood, the Backlot Tour, the Universal Studios Backlot Tour. It's great. You get to see that Psycho House. You get to see all kinds of stuff. And it was magical. I mean, you got to see Frankenstein's monster try to take down the tram. You tried to see, King Kong mess up some of the passengers' visits. It was just fantastic. You got to see, all kinds of stuff. Maybe a little diesel action, if you will. But I'm sure we'll be talking about that a little later.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to get into it too much, but Universal Studios Backlot Tour, worth the ticket price.
Okay.
Especially if you're from China, or India, or Sweden, or any other
now you're just listing countries.
Touristy countries that send those fair citizens to our shores here at Hollywood. Enjoy that Universal Studios Backlot Tour.
All right.
Ben, number 4.
My number 4 is the Incredible Hulk ride from the Universal Studios Islands of Adventure in
Okay.
Florida.
The roller coaster.
The Hulk roller coaster. I don't know what the official name of that
The
ride
Hulk
is.
roller coaster.
Yeah, it's the one. It's
Get
the Hulk
jacked.
one. Yeah,
Get green.
one that I believe
'Cause you're sick.
the queue is detailed to be some sort of like science-y
Yeah.
Bruce Banner esque gamma radiation stuff. It sort of
Yeah.
sets the stage for becoming the Hulk, and then metaphorically, the minute you get on the ride,
Yeah.
you transform into the Hulk because you just sit there and you wait and you wait and you
Right.
wait, and then it just blasts off at like 60 miles an hour
Yeah.
or something insane, really fast.
In my mind, I always thought the beginning of the ride was you being injected into the Hulk and then living within the
Within
pulsating
his skin or
veins
something,
of the
yeah.
Hulk. Yeah,
That's an interesting.
while he's going crazy.
Interesting reading too. I think I like that one better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're flipping all over the place,
Yeah.
just traversing his entire body.
Just like firing neurons.
Yeah, I like that reading. That's good.
And also,
Okay.
you had like the pre-video feed of like 90s Marvel cartoons explaining the Hulk's
Yeah.
origin story.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean to step on Christopher Nolan's creative process, but that's really all you need as far as an origin story. Just like a quick 5-minute,
like they did it in the Incredible Hulk.
yeah, like
the
go
Edward
wait
Norton
in line
movie.
at a theme park and just realize, oh, I can tell these stories succinctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a great time for everybody. I think that's actually being, it might be updated soon.
No, the
Yeah, the
Hulk
old
ride?
Hulk roller coaster. Yeah,
Well,
I have no sources to cite,
Oh, okay.
but I just feel like it would be.
Avengers themed, maybe.
I feel like it's up for an upgrade.
They'll put
it's
put
almost
Ruffalo's face
almost
everywhere.
20 years old. I hope not. Hi, I'm Mark Ruffalo. Welcome to the Hulk. Great pick, Ben.
I'm
Great
Bill
pick.
Paxton. I watched the Avengers once. Here's the intro.
Welcome to the Green Machine, Hulk. My number 4 is none other than Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the ride. The 3D experience.
That is my number 3.
What is the official title?
It's called T2 3D Battle Across Time.
There we go. Reviewed, of course, at thesolarsentinel.blogspot.com by Mr. Pearson.
Yes.
And directed by James Cameron.
James Cameron, John Bruno, and Stan Winston.
I don't know who those guys are.
Stan Winston, the visual effects guy who was responsible for...
The fourth Ghostbuster?
No,
Winston?
That's Winston Zedmore, I think his name is. No, Stan Winston, an infamous makeup artist who I believe was almost solely responsible for the look of the chrome.
Looks cool.
Yeah, everything. So
Well, you walk in and you're part of Skynet. Maybe Cyberdyne. You're part of Cyberdyne. And they're trying to advertise all of this Cyberdyne technology and hardware. And this was like 1996, right? So
let me see.
they have like things like Skype. They have things like drones. They have things that we have now.
1996, yeah.
And like robot arms tuck a little girl in, and then you know who shows up and then hacks into the feed?
Oh, jeez.
None other than Sarah Connor and son Sean Connor. And she tells us that we're about to die, that they're going to slaughter us by the millions, that the machines are going to take over. Typical Connor fodder.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough,
Arnold shows up.
Arnold shows up.
I think
T-1000 shows
he
up.
grabs John Connor and then like jumps into a movie screen, and then you watch a movie.
It's not
right?
a movie screen. No, we're living it.
Well, you're living it because there are human actors, but then
Yeah.
part of it is actually just a filmed.
You're talking about the actual behind the secrets behind the curtain, because in reality we're sitting in front of like the Cyberdyne. What would you call it? Like a
backdrop?
power source, like the time machine. Maybe I'm wrong.
I remember everything
It
you
is a movie,
said.
by the
I
way.
think
It's a
I think
movie.
you're all correct. And then
Let's roll that back. You're watching a movie.
Oh, okay.
With human interaction.
Yeah, there's like because I remember people actually coming out. It's been years since
I tried to
I've
make
done
it
this.
more real than it actually is.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, it's a movie.
That's
Folks.
what you're saying. Okay, I got
Ride the movies.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, man, this was awesome. Like this was 3D. If you're gonna make something 3D, do it like this, where shit is actually out in your face and like a real, almost interactive experience.
Yeah, it's
like
not someone with a bow staff. Like
and there's so
rubbing
many
your
3D movies over the
face.
past like 5 years or something where it's like I watch it in 3D and I'm like, what was the point of that? Were there really any 3D things in it? They're like, oh yeah, I like to do some depth. I like to really work on that. But it's like, give me, if I'm going to pay extra and you're going to film it in 3D, make some shit fly out of the audience. I don't know. That's what they did really
Listen,
well.
you pay a little bit more, you get a ticket to Universal Studios, you ride the movies, you ride the 3D movies, you get Despicable Me, you get T2 3D, you get, Ghostbusters experience.
Yeah, and I think there were...
If it was 1991.
There were different Terminator robots that were created specifically for this ride, like the T1 Million, I think, was like octopus-looking thing with tentacles that come out at you, and there were some big, like, Schwarzenegger T-800-esque things that were, like, upgraded with machine gun arms and stuff like
the
that.
T-850 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and it felt very much in line with the movie franchise at the time.
I consider it an installment.
It's definitely canon, for sure.
It's definitely in there.
Yeah.
Countdown to Judgment Day. Check it out. Ben's Movie Reviews. Not just newmovies.com.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is E.T.
Okay.
The Extraterrestrial, the ride.
Okay.
One of the best rides at Universal Studios. Created, like, blood, sweat, tears created by Steven Spielberg. Mm-hmm. He went in there and he molded the trees. He built the bicycles.
I don't know about all that.
He modeled the small cityscape.
He definitely
everything.
took a cut from everything.
And he introduces, much like Bill Paxton introduces the Twister ride, Spielberg comes on. He's like, "Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg," as if we need to be told. He's got the leather jacket. He's got the hat. He's got the beard. And he goes, "E.T. needs your help. His planet is dying. Like, he needs to get back. Hyperspeed on these bikes into the universe and, like, hook up with his friends." And we're like, okay. So we just hop on bicycles. We escape some government agents, and we're there. And then he says bye to you, which is really awesome. So refurbish that ride right away. Do not get rid of it, Universal Studio executives. I am penning my letter to Mr. Spielberg as we speak.
Right now, yeah.
And it will be pleading angrily, heatedly, emotionally, to keep this ride in place. And I hope Spielberg finds it in his heart and his big wallet to keep that ride in place and have future generations of people associate with the Christ story that is E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Truly, madly, deeply. Yes.
E.T. the Red.
My number 2 is Dueling Dragons, from another one from the Florida Islands of Adventure Park. This was one of the flagship rides, I guess, when the Islands of Adventure opened back in 1999. I was there that year, like, very, very soon after. I think they opened it to the park employees that were going to be working there, and then they opened it to small groups before they opened it to the general public. And I got to ride Dueling Dragons multiple times with, like, nobody in the park. It was like me and a bunch of my friends, and we rode it 4 times in a row, front and back of each of the 2 Dueling Dragon roller coasters, which was a pretty awesome experience for a kid who was like 14 at the time. So, I had a lot of fun with this one. Apparently, you're just now telling me right before we started recording that it is no longer in existence in its original form. Mm-hmm. But it's been co-opted into some
Harry Potter Dragon Challenge, I believe it's called.
Yeah, Dragon Challenge. So
now you have like a Chinese brownback fighting a Mythlorian ice drake.
It's not the same, like, blue versus red primordial thing that it was back in the day. But anyway.
And you know who gets a cut from that now? Miss J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Get that.
Yeah.
By the way, would I marry J.K. Rowling?
I think you would.
Damn right I would.
Yeah.
Man, sleep in a mattress full of just $1 million bills. Great pick, Ben. My number 2?
Yeah, number 2
is Back to the Future. The ride. You got an 8-person DeLorean. You've got Doc Brown introducing the video.
That's awesome right there.
You've got Biff hunting you down, stealing the original DeLorean, which, I mean, he's an asshole.
Yeah,
right?
Totally is.
Yeah,
is that canon?
That's Grand Theft Auto.
That is Grand Theft
Auto. It is canon. What are you talking about?
I was just curious.
It's post 3.
Okay, post
because
3.
he's rebuilt another DeLorean, an 8-person DeLorean. So this is somewhere in maybe 1991.
So any idiot who is desperate enough to want a sequel, just look at this ride.
Cite the ride.
There you go. That's it.
So it'd have to take place after Back to the Future, the ride.
Yeah, got it.
So Biff has been put down many a time. Now I'm also I haven't included the canon of the Back to the Future cartoon, which I think is also canon because that features Jules and Vern as characters.
Oh yes.
So that definitely took place after Back to the Future.
That's a whole other thing.
And Doc and Bill Nye the Science Guy would do little science experiments after each episode.
I got to tell you, I love the idea of Back to the Future, the ride. The actual ride itself makes me sick because of the whole motion sense. You know, the like. I just can't.
It's a pretty fun ride. You go to Hill Valley.
I can't handle those rides.
The future Hill Valley. and then you go back to dinosaurs, and then there's like a lava and ice. Very cool. Yeah. Just bring it up on your iPad, and you'll be able to watch it without moving.
Yeah, that's true.
You might be able to experience. There's also, if you go into Amazon, you can get the Back to the Future The Ride soundtrack, which is just one long song.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. You can experience it that way because the ride, other in Japan, right? Is that what you tell me?
I think, it's
Universal Studios Japan.
In Japan, yeah.
It does not exist here in the States, so if you need to, and you love hearing the Japanese tongue, the language in your ear, check out Back to the Future The Ride in Japanese.
Man,
I
wonder if anyone in the world has ever talked about that on a podcast. That's like so
you brought
specific.
It up.
No, but I mean, just it's one of those things where you just think about like, I know there are an almost infinite number of podcasts out there.
Well, I'm glad you've chosen us.
But has anybody talked about the soundtrack, the one long song soundtrack of the Back to the Future ride before? That seems unlikely to me. But I don't know.
Does Michael J. Fox have a podcast?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see about that.
If he doesn't, then no. The answer is no one has ever talked about
you
it.
teased this before. Moving on to my number one.
Number one.
Studio Tour.
Studio Tour.
I gotta give it up for the Studio Tour.
Awesome.
I love tours. I used to work at Paramount. I gave studio tours there for a couple years. The Universal one is really cool because you're on a tram the entire time. You don't really get to see too much as far as like actual current productions, but there's so much history at that studio. Yeah, that's true. You drive past sound stages, and occasionally you might be able to peek in, but you don't really get to like get out and walk around and really kind of explore how it all goes down. But
that was Mindy Kaling,
the history on the lot, the Universal lot, is so awesome because you drive by and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's where Robert Redford and Paul Newman did this. This is where Hitchcock did this. I mean, it's one of the oldest movie studios out there. It's been in the same place for a long, long time, almost 100 years at this point. And
over 100 years.
Well, the studio itself has been in existence for over 100 years, but I don't know if the location has been at that exact
Technicality.
spot.
You got me.
Right, but yeah, man, I think this studio tour is one of the longest running studio tours of any Hollywood studio. I think it's really, really nicely put together. Jimmy Fallon hosts it, but by that I mean he introduces it for like 10 seconds and then he's gone. They're like, yeah, hosted by Jimmy Fallon. So even if you hate Jimmy Fallon, it's still worth watching. Worth going to by far. I think it's during the day you get to cruise through the area where they filmed Back to the Future, the square area. And you can see the what's it called, the courthouse. And yeah, at night it's pretty sweet too. They've got the new Fast and Furious ride there. They've got the King Kong ride. It's a whole big thing.
Dom, what are you doing?
Pretty awesome stuff. So that's my number one.
It's a good pick.
Tyler, what's your number one?
My number one is none other than what is featured on the studio tour is a little fish by the name of Jaws. Or Bruce.
Oh, okay.
And there used to be a ride, Jaws the Ride Experience. And he's a big old head that would pop up while you're on a boat. And then the captain of the boat had like a grenade launcher, I want to say. But they consistently, like I went on this ride multiple times, consistently could not hit this shark with their grenade launcher. They at one point, like, it engulfed in flames a gasoline station with the grenade launcher. And the shark was just maniacal in its manipulation of this boat.
Okay.
And eventually we got him. We got that son of a bitch. Blew his ass to hell.
Nice.
Came up, burnt to a crisp. And he's haunted my dreams ever since. I've always wondered what it was like underneath those waves with the Jaws head popping up and down.
That is horrifying.
Horrifying. But thankfully, that ride is no longer. I think the Jaws head is somewhere just making its way across the country like Incredible Hulk style.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na.
It's hitchhiking.
That's the Frankenstein.
It's just a
it's got a little
it's just a severed
suitcase
head
with like a little piece of underwear hanging out. And trying to make it back to its former days. Like, it's a great movie. We saw a little bit on the studio tour, actually, of how difficult it was to film with that son of a bitch shark that wasn't real for viewers. That shark was not real.
The mechanics were not functioning very well at all.
As Richard Dreyfuss would say, the shark isn't working today. The shark is not working today. So, yeah, check that out. Never. Because it no longer exists. Jern got a pretty a good couple of one-on-one interviews with the Jaws head, so check that out at Solar Sentinel. Did we review Jaws for Not Just the Movies podcast?
I don't think we did, no.
Well, listeners, if you want to see Ben and I review Jaws and Jaws 2, and Jaws 3D, and Jaws The Revenge for the Not Just New Movies podcast. We'll probably just do Jaws. Let us know. We've crunched the numbers, but you can, of course, let us know. 5castpodcast@gmail.com. If you got your own lists or themes, send them our way.
You can also contact me directly on Twitter at twitter.com/BenPaired. Well, thanks for coming out to...
LA, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Thanks for, driving Miss Daisy and me around.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks to the Funhouse guys. Those guys were sweet. I don't think they're ever going to listen to this, but
they might.
Crossover complete. And, it's been a great time, and hopefully, until next time, all of you, all of the great citizens of California will take 5. We'll see you next week.
Take 5.